Lamont Datway Jones, raw and uncut.
Right now in Texas, nearly 3 million families are trapped in their homes in freezing temperatures without power. For many of them, it's been that way for 4 days now. And the situation may get even more dire with another round of dangerous weather expected. More than 24 deaths have been attributed to the weather so far. At least 2 of those deaths were because of carbon monoxide poisoning involving people sitting in their running cars, just presumably trying to warm up. Across the state, we are seeing multiple reports of just how desperate folks are getting in Texas. Stories like this one from the Texas Tribune. A grandmother sleeps in her car to stay warm. Parents who ran out of firewood burned belongings to keep their children warm. A Richardson resident watched the battery level of her partner's oxygen machine drain away and desperately sought help to have it recharged. NBC's Morgan Chesky is one of the millions of people experiencing this firsthand. He is live for us in Dallas, where temperatures are not expected to get above freezing again today. Morgan, first, are we getting any sense of when these families may finally get their power back on? What are officials saying?
Officials are saying the same thing they've been saying over about the past 24 hours, Craig, at least related to the power grid, and that is they're working very hard to restore full power, but at this point there is no definitive timetable as to when it will be fully restored, and they say that rolling outages will continue. However, I feel like it's very important to note these rolling outages for so many Texans across the entire state have not been several hours on, several hours off, but several minutes on, and then days off. Spoke to a gentleman yesterday who had to move his wife through the snow to a neighbor's home after the thermostat inside their house read 38 degrees. Their neighbor, one of the only people they knew with a fireplace that they could huddle in front of to try and stay warm. It is heartbreaking to hear from so many people across this state doing whatever they can to try to survive at this point in time. It's also sad to say that this is the warmest day we've had in several days, Craig, and it's about 19 degrees right now. We may not break freezing until Friday. That will really be the first chance for widespread solutions to be put into place to bring some of these power suppliers back online. We know that natural gas lines froze that provide power to a lot of areas. We know that in West Texas, there was an issue with those wind turbines, ice buildup on the blades, and the batteries that stored energy were drained even faster as a result of this cold snap that's really turned into an absolute crisis. Craig?
Meanwhile, Morgan, yesterday we learned a little bit more about your personal situation. You mentioned your grandmother was at a nursing home facility that lost power. Does she have her power back on?
I appreciate you asking. Grandmother is doing okay today. Several hours later in the afternoon, her power was restored. My mother's power was also restored for the first time in about 36 hours. They are in Houston right now, which is facing so many issues. People there are having pipes burst. We saw one photo, Craig, of someone that had left their faucet running, and it actually froze inside their house. That is what they're dealing with in Houston. Temperatures slightly warmer there than we are here in Austin, here in Dallas, rather. But no matter where you look across the entire state, you'll find similar stories to that. And that's what makes it so tough, especially when we don't know when the power is going to be fully restored. My own place last night dipping to about 45 degrees. And so, you know, you can build a fire in a fireplace, but it's not going to do much.
Yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Lamont Datway Jones coming back at you guys with another quick video. And the topic of discussion in this video is when it comes to the recent Texas crisis that they're going through. When it comes to the majority of the citizens of Texas who are, or should I say, was not prepared for these freezing conditions. And and you can't do anything but, help to think when you see this type of situation, like, since when does this happen this deep down south, especially in a state this is deep down south as Texas? You dig? Now, another reason I say that is this. Me, myself, I am also in the dirty. For those who know what I'm talking about, they will know that I'm talking about the dirty South. That's what we call the dirty South of true Southerners, if you will, you dig? Now, as long as I've been living on the face of God's green earth, okay? And anybody else who has been living as long as I have, or even younger or older than me, I can almost guarantee you, no matter what ethnicity they are, they can honestly tell you that this will be the first time in my generation. Let me rephrase it. Yeah, this will be the first time in my generation, this generation, that I've been a part of, that I've ever seen this type of thing happen, especially, like I said, in a state that's as deep down south as Texas. You dig? Now, behind this theory, well, let me rephrase that once again. I'm about to give you guys my theory on this information that I've gathered and from the research that I've done and put together when it comes to something like this happening, because this is something that doesn't happen on a regular basis, especially when it comes, like I said, to a state like Texas. I mean, don't get me wrong, it gets cold down south during the winter time, but not as cold as it does up north. Everybody knows that the northern part of the country, of the United States of America, is where it gets its coldest at during the winter time, okay? Now, with that being said, you gotta ask yourself, just from knowing some of these things that I just mentioned, you gotta ask yourself, stop and ask yourself this, like I did. Since when does that happen? That, like I said, it has never happened. Not in my lifetime. This will be the first time in my lifetime that I ever seen something like this happen in a state like Texas. See, a person who doesn't have the knowledge that I have, especially when it comes to the knowledge that I am about to put my people up on, especially if you are some of the people that has always decided to rock with that boy they call Lamont Datway Jones this way. Y'all already should know where I'm about to go with this when it comes to them tampering with the weather. This is something that has always been done up under the covers, if you will. This is the type of stuff that, or should I say, these are the type of things that has just recently, over the, recent years, that has really just came all the way to the light, to those, or should I say for those who's always blinded to these type of things. The reason I keep saying that is this, because I've been hip to these type of things when it comes to them experimenting with the weather, when it comes to the harp. See, for those of you who doesn't know what harp is I'm gonna break this down into simple terms for the people who never had a clue, what the harp mechanism consisted of, or what it means, or what it was actually, or what it's actually used for. And when it comes to the harp system that they use, that they've created, it's a mechanism that they've been using for quite some time now when it comes to manipulating the weather. Or in other words, you could say when it comes to tampering with Mother Nature, if you will. You dig what I'm saying? This is something that has been done, or they've been doing and using for years, okay? For those who's always been blinded to these type of things because they were too busy, being distracted by just normal things that they also use to distract the masses for years when it comes to just simple things like the TV. Especially the TV. That was like, guess it. The TV has to be one of the greatest inventions when it comes to distracting people that they ever could have came up with within the history of, when it came to devices like the TV being one of the number one distractions or should I say one of the greatest distractions of all time in the history of mankind. Put it like that. And a lot of the things that you see on the television that you envision with your eyes, that's why they call it television. If you break it all the way down into the three main syllables, or four, however you want to put it, some people use that, but in my case, it doesn't really matter, because when you really break the television, syllables down, all you gotta do is just slow up your speech impediment with it when you pronounce it. Tell-lie-vision. Think about it. You break that one word, television, down. And the reason it makes perfect sense, it means exactly what it's saying when you break it all the way down. Like I just said, tell-lie-vision. It is a mechanism, or should I say device, that they created to tell, in some cases, a lie whenever you decide to watch it. In other words, envision the pictures on it with your vision that you were blessed with when it comes to the Almighty. Now, with that being said, the reason I'm breaking this TV thing down is because, like I said, it's got to be one of the greatest mechanisms that, when it comes to distraction in the history of mankind, okay? See, that's one of the main reasons why, back to what I was saying, the reason I'm mentioning that, back to what I was saying, because it connects back to everything I just said when it comes to this heart mechanism. See, a lot of people that's always been dumb to what, the harp, system consists of. You know why they're dumb to the fact? Because, like I said, they've been too busy being distracted, especially when it comes to the television. However you want to pronounce it, you dig what I'm saying? But you got so many of them. I'm just saying, the reason I was saying television, because that's one of the, like I said, the greatest, distractions, mechanisms that they ever could have invented in the history of mankind, okay? See, if people wasn't so dumb or so blinded or wasn't so busy or so blinded by these type of distractions, they would know about these type of things. That's the reason I said you can go to the average person and mention the harp to them, and they wouldn't have a damn clue what you were talking about. They'll look at you like, huh? Harp? They would probably think you was talking about the damn, because one dude actually, when I mentioned something to him about it, he actually, and it was kind of funny, but at the same time it was kind of sad, because when I mentioned something to this guy about it, he actually was like, oh, you mean the insurance company? And I looked at this dude like, oh my God, if you ain't a damn zombie. Ooh, Oh my God, like to the system, then damn, I don't know what Mozambique to the system would be if I hadn't never met you. That was my inner thoughts when I happened to get that response from him. This guy, right? But yeah, these people have been tampering with the weather, and I don't give a damn what nobody say. Just because of some of the information that I just mentioned, there's no doubt in my mind that they are experimenting with Texas. I wouldn't give a damn how you put it. I wouldn't give a damn what type of theories you hit me up with that you would try to get me to believe any other, persuade me to believe any other. I ain't buying none of that bullshit. Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just keeping it, 100 with my people, like I always do. If you are familiar with my channel, okay? These people are tampering with the weather, and I wouldn't give a damn. I was watching one of the people that I'm subscribed to on YouTube, and he was also saying the same thing. But I've been new about these type of things, just like he probably has, I'm sure. Like I'm sure he has been new about it. Like I have, but back to what I was saying, like, yeah. I mean, you can say what you want. Like I said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and like I said, guess what? You don't have to believe a damn thing that I say. All you gotta do, like I always tell people on all of my videos and blogs that I make on my channel, look, if you feel like you have any type of doubt on any of the things that I am saying, hey, feel free to do your own research, and I guarantee you, if you do the research on these exact same topics that I be trying to wake some certain people up, the majority of my people at the rocks with their boy Lamont Datway Jones this way, I can guarantee you will find the majority of them to be like the honest truth. Like, I'm not gonna blow smoke up nobody's ass. I don't have time for that, because I'm not gonna gain nothing from blowing smoke up people's asses. All right. You can best believe when I tell people about these type of things in some of my videos, that's why I always welcome them to do their own research. That way, when they finish watching any of the videos that I make concerning this type of information, they won't be able to sit back and be like, oh, that guy, he's full of shit. He don't know what he's talking about. He's been watching too much TV. and listen to what I just said. The average person that would be that stupid to say something like that, in other words, be that ignorant, because that's what you call true ignorance. A person that's quick to sit back and try to criticize, you know what I'm saying, some of the theories that you're trying to wake them up to. That's some of the things, one of the dumbass things that person would think. When in reality, they're the ones that's been brainwashed by the television. Think about what I'm saying, my good people. Think about that. I'm telling y'all, straight up. It's true. Because whatever person tells you something like that, should let you know off top, they've been brainwashed by the television for them to a person to even give that type of answer without even doing the research themselves. Just like I said, the true definition of ignorance is what you call that. You dig? But yeah, for those of you, before I close the video out, I'm gonna say this. For those of you who don't know about the HAARP weather machine that they've been using, it's been experimenting with for God knows how long. All you gotta do is do the research for yourself. These type of things have been going on. Dig what I'm saying? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, I just wanted to thank everybody who decided to stop and rock with that boy, they call Lamont, Datway Jones, this way, you dig? And that being said, my good people, if you happen to like any of my commentary that I do on any of my videos, including this one especially, make sure you guys don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, you dig? With that being said, my good people, till next time, my good people, peace. Peace out.